Dreamcast games, the incomparable Illbleed, run by the just as incomparable Abby's Corner. Take it away.
Well, hello there, everyone. I hope you're ready for probably one of the craziest horror games ever made. Also probably one of the most difficult horror games ever made. So yeah, that's a thing. And I hope you're ready to journey into a theme park. So yeah, in 3, 2, 1, let us begin the run. So yeah, this was one of the last games for the Dreamcast, though funny enough, it came out before Sonic Adventure 2, but was never released in Europe. Which is just weird because you think it would have been released in Europe, given that Europe was still getting games well after they finally killed it, because they were getting games until like 2003. So here we are in the first level. It's Home Run of Death. Also, get ready to see a lot of blood. That is just a thing. The only thing that's not RNG is pick-upable items, such as the horror monitor, but each level, minus Worm Queen's Revenge, has different levels. Isn't that fun? Of course, we don't know what pattern we're on until we get inside. There are usually 3 patterns per level, and we're gonna find out which one we're on in just a moment. Let's find out, shall we? We're on A. How do I know we're on A? Because the sight's going off. Unfortunately, A is the worst pattern for this level. However, just because you have a terrible pattern in your first level does not mean you should ever reset, because you could have the best pattern in the following levels. There has been one occasion where I had the best patterns in 4 out of 5 pattern levels. Also, you did want to get hit by the shower there because it's faster to get hit by the shower. And now we have to grab. Excellent. As we keep running. And of course, there's healing items all throughout the level. If you go over by that photo box, you can get a full heal. Granted, it'll only heal your HP. Various different things will heal different things. Heart rate, bleeding, adrenaline, and of course HP. Bleeding is the thing that is most likely going to kill you, and of course we're sticking to the left side because you may have noticed the Sixth Sense going off, and the Sixth Sense is trying to tell you that there is either a fight encounter or a pick-upable item. And there we go, we pass the guillotine and pick up the testimonial, and then we're going to squeeze through this table to avoid a fight encounter and a tramp. And unfortunately on A we have to tag the bottles, whereas B and C have a way around the bottles. So here we go. And then we're going to stick to the closet, because by squeezing against the closet we skip a fight encounter, and then of course we have to tag the second door, which I'm not close enough to, because it will bite you. Did I mention this game is wacky? So tag the corpse, which all patterns have to do. You'll still get that cutscene no matter what. However, it'll scratch you. So there we go. We have passed. And then we continue on to Jimmy's trophy. Very important, as we need that item. Also, if you wanted a Hassie, which is a small healing item, you can go to the fridge. And here we go. Tag the bathroom, but unfortunately we don't get to see chair skip. We're going to tag and then move right along into the fight, because the problem with doing chair skip in A is the fact that it'll push you back into this room, into the fight. There we go. Because these pillars are activated, so you'll get hit by the pillars, causing a large amount of blood loss, and then you'll have to deal with the fight. Next, we're going to take a wide turn here in order to skip a fight encounter, and then we're going to stick to the right wall because there's no fight encounters on the right wall. And then we're going to tag the light for the next fight. Sometimes he'll just lovely just stand there, but unfortunately he's decided to move against us. Luckily he's going for the slow attack and narrow escape. Again, how a helicopter's ladder is going through a ceiling, who knows? It's just a thing. And then we're going down into the basement. Of course, there are hospital rooms to heal in every level, but some of them are very much like they're at the beginning of the level, so kind of like not really an advantage, whereas this one is pretty close to the end. So we start with the testimonial because it's faster menuing, and then we go into Jimmy's trophy, and then we meet the boss of the level, Mr. Ban Below. Sometimes the game likes to be finicky and not let you get into the cutscene. So the first thing we're going to do is stand here for just a second and go. And then as he's firing, double back so that he's well off the helipad. And there we go. Now we enter his maze. One thing that the game really loves you to do is take left turns. That is just a thing that it likes to do. And we're going to play a game of chicken as he's coming out of this hallway. And then we're running. So anytime we can take a left, we're immediately going to do so. Again, playing chicken with him, he has a very weird hitbox, but then again, everything has a weird hitbox here. Because if you try to go to the direction of his hose, you're most likely going to get caught. However, if you go in the direction of his, of the gas can, you're perfectly fine. It's really weird. And trust me, there's a lot of things that have weird hitboxes. We have now made it halfway through the maze, and there's our friend Kevin, who Ban Below thinks is, Jimmy, his son. Again, taking all the lefts at every possible time. Of course, if left or right is our only option, then of course we're going to take those directions. Now we're going to wait here for a second. And then we're going to do it again. Oh! We got caught because he decided to do an L shape. I might get caught on fire a few times. We're gonna make him run over here. That's the great thing about Ban Below is he's really slow. Luckily, we're still not bleeding. However, I am not sure what direction I'm in. Nope, I got caught by him again. This is the sort of downside to dealing with Ban Below and other enemy encounters is when you're caught, you can't tell what direction you're in, which is kind of the bad thing. The last run I did of this, as I'm really bleeding here, is I got caught by him 3 times because I was like, where am I? Of course, if you're looking to pause Ban Below in his position, you're going to... Are we good? There we go. Right? Nope, I'm... Alright. So, we can pause his position. There we go. This should be it. Yes. If you want to pause his position, you want to open the map. It's really simple. Unfortunately, we had to do that because we got a little lost, because that just happens. But now we're entering the boss fight. And now, stick to the side with the gas can. Very important, because that's his blind spot. Now, you may notice that we jumped back there. That means he got hit with a counter hit, which does mean you have to readjust your position. So that is just a thing that we had to do. There we go. And of course, the camera will also kind of be a pain. And even though we're bleeding heavily, which is fine, because the good news is we have an Amazon. Of course, we're not quite done with Mr. Ban Below because Oh no, he's now a giant animatronic. By the way, all of this is fake, because again, we're in a haunted theme park. Or a horror theme park. It's not really... I mean, it is haunted, but we don't know that it's haunted until level 5. Because the thing about Illbleed is that there is $100 million prize on the line if you can survive. So that is a thing. Nicely done. And so you're basically dying if you lose inside the park. That part is the real part. So we've made it through. And then we have to deal with the employee. Luckily, this one was a robot. Grab his card, and then we're going to use the Amazon. The Amazon is a full heal. As far as I know, they're available in each level, though I've never found the Amazon in Wood Puppets. I know where the Amazon is in Worm Queen of Death. However, it's very much out of the way. Alright, as we head towards the end. Fun fact, you can actually go to the gate while Ban Below is still active, however you can't get through the exit because you don't have the employee's card to open the gate. And also, Ban Below will just walk away from you, so that's how you know you've gone the wrong way, because if Ban Below's just walking away from you, it's like, oh no. So here we go. By the way, the game has become a platformer. It becomes a platformer quite a bit, actually. So here we go. That is a thing. Also, by chance, what is the bid war at currently as we end level 1?
One last refresh for the bid war. And good endings in the lead.
Alright, so we'll be saving all of our friends. Alright, so here we go. And we get this nice clear. And we'll be switching characters as well, because the way the game works now is we use Eriko for half the game and we use Kevin for the other half. And of course, I'll be bringing some supplies in just in case Kevin gets caught, because one of the disadvantages about Kevin is when he gets caught, he squirms for a good 15 to 30 seconds. I don't actually know how much time it is, but I know that it's quite a bit, to the point where he will lose all of his time save. So it's like, oh no. So here we go. Of course, Eriko will just immediately stand up, as we saw with getting caught by Ban Below.
Let's go.
So here we go. Fun fact, Kevin is voiced by Sonic Adventure Sonic, and Eriko is voiced by Rouge from Sonic Adventure 2. And we just recently found out that Sega of Japan published this game, so it is quite possible that Sega still holds the rights to this game. Nobody knew who held the rights, but somebody showed the Dreamcast magazine November 2000 issue, and in that issue it tells us that Sega of Japan was the publisher for it. So it's like, huzzah, because unfortunately the developer is no longer in existence and the American publisher is no longer in existence. So right now we're avoiding the evil monkey fight by sticking to the left. Very nice. And of course there's no traps in this level because obviously our horror monitor was stolen. That was the opening cutscene after we picked it up. And then, so there's nothing but fight encounters here. So we've got to be very, very careful. That worm that's coming towards me is actually the worst worm in the entire level, in my opinion. This is the hardest part of the level. Be careful of the left, because there's another worm coming as we keep going. Yes. Also, my apologies, I forgot to ask about any donations that have come in after the first level finished.
We do not have any donations yet, but I would like to announce that the threshold for the UFO ending in Silent Hill Shattered Memories is now $50. So if you need something to donate to, that would be it.
Oh, yes. You're in for quite the treat in that Shattered Memories run, especially given the parameters of that one. Also, we don't want to go towards the signs anymore, as there's Evil Monkey Fight number 2. We have avoided it, and we are good. Alright, going to see the last worm, which we need to bait out, and then once we pass that worm, we're through the hardest part of the level. Alright. Come on. There you go. And that was the last worm that we have to avoid. However, we're not out of the woods yet. While we may have passed the worm, we have a few things we need to deal with. Oh, yes. And now we have to jump on some cars, and we need to grab this baby bottle in order to unlock the door. So that's precisely what we're going to do. Now, of course, if we touch the dirt, it summons the boss of the level, Rachel, with infinite health, which is what we don't want. There we go. And then this cutscene is avoidable, but again, whereas it's skippable, I wouldn't recommend fretting over it too much. It's kind of weird to get it to skip both times. Sometimes you might only get it once. You have to go very, very tightly around that corner. Now we're going to stick to the right wall because zombies with guns. Be very, very careful. Excellent. And of course, when we come back through, we have to stick to the left side, as it will become the left side. Be careful of going towards the dirt because there's another zombie with guns fight. And of course, when grabbing the wrench here, be very careful because there's a permanent health upgrade. We don't pick up any health upgrades during the fight. So there we go. Because the permanent health upgrades stick in our inventory until they are used, and we just have no need to use them. And even in New Game Plus, you would all set that up beforehand. Now grab the flamethrower so we have a way to fight the boss. And we're knocking down billboards to create platforms for us. Again, you know which ones are the right ones because there are 5 blocks to each of them. I don't know what I was doing there by pulling out or trying to use the flamethrower on that. Having a platform set on fire isn't exactly the best move for Kevin here. Luckily, the game doesn't allow us to use the flamethrower to knock those down. There we go. And again, stick to the left side because you'll see the 6 cents go off, which is indicating, hey, zombies with gunfight. And because the arena is so small, if you don't bring any health items with you, it will cause you to die. Also, one thing to note about healing items, they leave your inventory at the end of every level. That is just a thing, and you can only have 9 of each item. So something to keep in mind. So again, just platforming here. This is Kevin's advantage because male characters have better jumps than female characters. However, female characters have better melee attacks than male characters. So we use Kevin in level 2, 5, and 6, error code 1, 3, and 4. There we go. That was the counter hit. Again, you get more damage off counter hits than you do regular hits. Come on. There we go again. Excellent. Lots of counter hits happening. Excellent. Very easy. Then we just wait for her to pop again. Excellent. Another counter hit. The great thing about bosses is they don't require counter hits to die, whereas regular enemies do. And in level 3, we start doing those, so it's like, oh, huzzah. There we go. And death. Sometimes she'll just keel over rather quickly. Most of the time, this is the kind of death you're going to get. And we have reunited her with her grandfather. And now that we have the gas can, we can escape. However, we need to go get Michelle first. Because we're doing good ending. So Michelle is just down here. And we have to deal with Evil Monkey Fight number 3. But luckily we have the flamethrower to deal with them. So here we go. There we go. And Michelle is saved. And we can leave. So we're going to run all the way back to the car and use the gas can on the car. I kind of recommend going to the front of the car to use the gas can, as doing the side of the car can be hit or miss. Alright, not bad. If you want to feel free to advertise anything or read out donations, feel free to.
Alright, well, I will remind everyone that aside from the UFO ending for the Silent Hill Shattered Memories run, which is happening right after this run, there is also an incentive for a bonus game coming up later tonight. Garbage Pail Kids, Mad Mike, and the Quest for Stale Gum. Conception will do an any percent tourist run of that. If we can raise $400, that is currently sitting at $30, so two very worthy incentives that still need to be met.
There we go. I don't actually know how Michelle plays, but I'm pretty sure she squirms. I think Eriko's the only one that doesn't squirm around. So you really do want to use Eriko for these portions. Because obviously Michelle has the fast attacks as well. I think we'll be on A here, which is the worst pattern of this level. But I could be wrong. Yep, we're on A. Unfortunate. The reason it's the worst pattern is because we have to do 3 fights in the gauntlet, which is really rather unfortunate. Whereas B only has 2 and C only has 2, but C has the wood puppet fight, and it's like, oh dear. So here we go. 1, 2, oh, hold on. And hello? Sometimes tagging can be a little finicky. There we go. So it's going to be these 3 at the start. Beware the windows, never trust the windows. Excellent. Also, it should be noted that I am playing the Japanese version of the game, and there's a very specific reason from my research, despite the fact that we've gotten 2 really bad patterns here. The Japanese version is far more, what's the word I want to use? Consistent with giving you the best patterns, than the North American version, from what I've seen. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but that's just what it seems like. And of course, the Japanese version is also cheaper than the North American version, as the North American version can often run you $500. But from what I've seen for speedrunning purposes, the Japanese version seems to be better. So that's a thing. Even though we've gotten 2 bad patterns so far. So here's our first enemy fight. Again, they need to die by... I didn't pick up the axe. Ooh, okay, this is gonna be interesting, because I forgot to pick up the axe. I am very curious to see if I can kill him with fists. I have never done this, so... Well, I'm certainly getting a lot of counter hits. But I have no idea how much damage I'm doing. Oh, but okay, we killed him. So we're gonna have to run back for that, so that'll be interesting. Because again, like I said, everything in the level is still active, so we have to run back the way we came. I've never, well, I have forgotten the axe, but usually I reset in that case. But we don't have that option. Luckily, the axe isn't too far away. All right. So this is what the level looks like backwards. And just upstairs. There we go. We picked up the axe after forgetting it. Like I said, it wasn't too far at least. As we go back. And again, most of the traps have been tagged, so we don't have to worry about getting hit by any traps, which is nice. And again, bleeding is the most important thing you want to heal. HP, not really a big deal. Heart rate, not really a big deal. So it's perfectly fine. Also, supposedly Randy's brain is very close to the emergency room, but I have no idea how his brain works. And the game does not care how we save him. Just so long as he is saved, that's all they care about. Not bad. Alright. My apologies for that. Of course, we've got a tag right here. This trap is active on all patterns. And there we go. And then because we're on A, we need to take a wide turn here. Because it's going to be the first grate. Not bad. Alright, moving right along. Of course, there's no wood puppet fight, so here we go. Now here's the first major difference between the North American and Japanese version, and that's the input for the code. We are going to be inputting a code that is a Japanese play on murder, which is 1564, or hitogoroshi. In the English version, you want wood. And because we are on A, we need the first light tagged. Also, we have become a wood puppet. Oh no. So now we're just shuffling along. There we go. Like so. Alright, we need that one tagged. There are 3 traps on A, and 3 traps on C. And then there are 3 traps on... and then there's 4 traps on B. But it's not too complicated once you know where they are. There we go. All of them have been tagged. And then there is only 1 trap left in the entire level. Excellent. Just shuffling along, and now we begin the Woodman Hunt. So we'll be taking advantage of the map pause quite a bit, because we are much slower than the Lumberjacks. So here we go. It's what we need to do. shuffling about. Very slowly. All right. If you would like to read any promotions and or donations, feel free to.
All right. Well, I do actually have a couple. A $5 donation from me. I felt obligated to donate after taking out that lumberjack without the axe, because I've never seen someone do that.
Oh.
And there's
And
also
again,
a... Sorry.
I was just gonna say we're playing a game of chicken.
And there's also a $25 donation from Anonymous with no comment. And thanks to both of those donations, we're only $20 away from seeing the UFO ending for Silent Hill Shattered Memories. And keep in mind, the cutoff for that is the beginning of that run. So we have about an hour-ish before that happens. 1 hour, $20, we can do this.
So unfortunately, we got into a fourth fight there. So we don't have one following us, so another one's gonna spawn in here, so we have to be very careful. Or not. Apparently we're good. Alright, I'll take that. Excellent. And now we have to get this tree out of the way, so we need to get the tree out of the way. And how do we get the tree out of the way? We get a bug that eats wood. Now you might be asking yourselves, wait, if the bug eats wood, why isn't it eating us? And the answer is... it probably knows we're a human because as you saw there in that last fight, you may have noticed that we bled. And last time we checked, trees don't bleed. So perhaps they know that we're actually human. Perhaps. Now, we can fall off this platform, so be careful when making your turns, because that's why we see the lumberjacks underneath, because the game is like, oh, you can fall off and have to redo everything. And it's like, oh no. However, this is part 2 of the hunt, because there's a second part where they chase us up here. So it's like, oh no. Not bad. As we continue to run. And of course, we're going to keep him paused so that we can make our turn. Sometimes he can actually knock himself off the platform, which is nice. This was not one of those instances, so we need to keep him just close enough. However, he will despawn when we go to Randy, which is nice. Ah, he was too close. So it looks like we're fighting 5 of these guys today. Ow. Ow. Please die. Yay! Of course, I won't heal until I'm past the next fight, because there's a chance we could be bleeding after it, because we're about to go into another fight. Again, unfortunately, the game likes to turn you around when you get into a fight encounter, so it's like, oh dear. So now we have to fight these two. Luckily, enemies have friendly fire, And these two really like to hit each other. There are some times where they will defeat each other, and it's great when that happens. Of course, using T-pose domination to win the day. There we go. No double kill, but it's fine. There we are. And then heal. I didn't really need to heal my HP, but figured why not. And it's a good thing I didn't heal my heart rate using the relaxing CD because I realized how low it was. And we will be raising it up another 60. And then there's going to be one coming around the corner here. We must be very careful because we don't want things getting too tight for getting ready to dodge. So I'm just keeping it in a position to where I couldn't dodge it. There he is. He's all the way over there. Okay, and he despawned, and that's why this one's here, so we're gonna open the map a few times. This level is almost over, and then it's on to the hardest level in the game. And let me tell you, it has killed many a run. For everyone. Because it has the most annoying fight in the entire game. So once again, T-pose domination. Why use the T-pose domination attack? Well, because it allows us to move. And moving can sometimes be good. There we go, fight number 1 complete. And of course, when you defeat an enemy, it does give you adrenaline back, which is nice. But you have to win the fight. So here we go, that's the last trap in the level. Alright. Nice fight. Not taking a lot of damage, which is nice. And then we have one more lumberjack to deal with. Ow. All right. Come on. There we go. And of course we're bleeding, but we don't have to worry about it. Bleeding is what I also refer to when you're moving and your bleed meter is going up. And of course you might notice the blue chip there. When the blue chip is passed, you're going to take damage. Or your hitbox is bigger, not that you're taking damage. I mean, eventually you'll take damage from bleeding as well. But yeah, your hitbox will be bigger. So that's what you have to be careful for. And now I hope you're ready to see the boss, which is a giant tree with a mustache. Of course, we can open with 2 hits. Every time it swipes, it's 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's 2 whenever he pukes. There we go. Fun fact, you also can't trade hits with him either. If you trade hits with him, he's still alive. You need to hit a counter on him for him to die. So that is a thing. If you would like to read any more donations or promotion, feel free to, because I'm just going to be running to the end of the level and preparing for the next one.
Alright, well, I would just like to thank everyone again for watching Midwest Speed Fest Fall Frenzy as we raise money for One Iowa, a charity advancing, empowering, and improving the lives of LGBTQ Iowans statewide. If you want to donate, you can do so by typing !donate in the chat or going to donate.midwestspeedfest.com. And if you live in the US, those donations are tax deductible. So a little extra incentive behind that. Speaking of incentives, we are still just $20 away from getting the UFO ending for the Silent Hill Shattered Memories run, which is coming up after this one. And the cutoff is the beginning of that run, so I believe in you guys hitting that final $20 to see that UFO ending.
Trust me, if you want to see me and Schmumbler suffer through that run, I highly recommend meeting that incentive. I will be on commentary for that run, so it is a thing. All right, we're not on B. If we were on B, then that shopping cart would have gone off. And of course, you may have noticed that I picked up something called a caution bomb. And what a caution bomb is it's a free tag. So it's a multi-tag for free, which is really nice. And we are on A because of the yellow candy. And there we go. So we will be using the caution bomb for this particular hallway. Because there's so many traps in this area. And of course I missed the candy. So the gimmick of this level, because we also got $150,000 at the start, is that traps will take money away from you. Which is not cool because we need 200,000 in order to get past, but it does pay you 150,000 up front, and we already had the 200,000 before we entered it, so it's pretty much not really a problem. And of course, we need to tag the middle because there is a trap. Only B doesn't have the trap here, so that is a thing. As we continue on, there we go. Picking up the English version calls it a hatchet, but I'm pretty sure it's a cleaver because as far as I know, a hatchet is a tiny axe. And then we give Hellcake the severed head, and we can take Hellcake with us. He just heals our HP, but he moves out of the way. And then, of course, we grab 3 pieces of meat. 1, 2, 3. And then we need the entire right side to be tagged, but sometimes the game just says no as it tagged the wrong pair of hooves and also tagged the pork for some reason. If it was C, it'd be the entire, and I meant left side, not right side. Right side is C. I'm really bad at directions. And then B is the entire back row, tag the cow skull, and then we have our good friends, the giant cockroaches. Oh, and I hit no. That's really bad. The reason it's very bad is because any pieces of meat, basically we wanted to feed each of them 1 piece of meat, so hopefully this one doesn't go away after 1 piece of meat. Oh, crap. So basically what happens is we have to fight both pieces of chicken, because what we wanted was you feed the roaches 1 piece of meat, and if they go away, great. If they don't, oh well. And then we needed the 1 piece of meat to get through the restaurant, because it won't let you in without a piece of meat. Actually, I need to full heal here, because the worst fight in the game is coming up, so very important to fully heal. And don't worry, I will explain why it is the worst fight in the game, let me tell you. So hop up on here to avoid a fight encounter, and then tag the onion. Because onions. And then tag the first pile of goo. If we were on B, it would be the second pile of goo, C would be the last pile of goo. But there is one more thing that we need to tag here. And that is a pineapple. Or as we say en français, le ananas. C'est très bien. So here we go. Also, I would just like to shout out the Japanese restream. They are fantastic. Also, the current commentator I know well, as she did my Flame Fatales run as well. Now, this fight is terrible because it's not one enemy, it's not two enemies, it's 3 enemies back to back, and they all need counter hits to die. And they like to back each other up. So it's like, wow, this is garbage. This is the run killer for a lot of the time, because again, they like to back each other up. You can see that I'm bleeding. You can see that I'm getting hit. And again, just to show you what happens when you try to open the menu, you just get a giant pause button. So it's like, oh yay. Like when I say this game is brutal for a casual playthrough or a first time playthrough, I mean it. Because you gotta remember where the traps are, you gotta deal with the enemies. So at the moment, we've not counter-hit anybody enough for them to die. And also the other problem is you can't tell your range. And obviously as they die, the easier the fight becomes, but you also want them dying somewhat close together. So it's very bad. Here we go. Uh-oh. Ow. There we go. Again, they do still take damage. They just need counter hits to die. Ow. There we go. So 2 down, 1 to go. Oh. Excellent. And they're really close together. And the reason you want them dying close together is because 3 orbs come out. And obviously if they're further away, it takes longer for them to hit Eriko. So now we're going to heal. I brought in a little extra heal compared to what I usually bring in, just in case. I usually bring 5 noodles and 6 gauze and 2 relaxing CDs. So now we're in Toy World, or Kids World as it's properly known as. We don't need to worry about the middle robot. It'd be B that we'd need to worry about the middle because they're both in the middle. And there we go. Again, sometimes it's easier to just double tag, and again, sometimes you just don't want to trust certain things because you never know. Because sometimes the game just likes to be like, no, you're fine, and then no, you're not. It's quite awful. And then, of course, we need the second plane because B and A are the second place, seeing it as the first green plane. Alright, and then we need to tag the TV. But of course, we're going to tag the Mega Dream as well. And then we need to tag the baseball, because I never trust the baseball, even if this is the wrong one, but it's the correct one. And then the last thing we need to tag is Mr. Quark, Don't worry, we'll get more into Quark and Pododon and Sexy Doll soon enough. But not till level 6. So we'll ignore them for now. And then we're going to see Miss Mary in her maze. Now, one thing about the maze, it's constantly doing damage to us, so the longer we stay in here, the more damage we take. We need 4 keys, so we're going to get those 4 keys. So here we go, we've got the blue piece. And of course we can despawn her. Sometimes this works, sometimes this doesn't. Seems to have worked this time. Then we go yellow. And of course I'm using the map pause to pause her position so that I know where she is, because unfortunately she's very fast. Then we're going to turn from the green into the pink. And then we are going down. We're going to save green for last because green is closest to the exit. And there we are. Sometimes she likes to despawn around the yellow or around the pink. But we do have to be careful because unlike Bambelow, where we got into a fight encounter and she just we can call the helicopter to get out. No, with Mary, we have to fight her to the death, unfortunately. And she does quite a bit of damage. But usually, once you've gotten 3 pieces, when you go to get the green, she's pretty much gone, which is rather nice. Alright, not bad. And sometimes you might see her coming around that corner and she'll just despawn before she even gets fully around the corner. And then heal. And I might as well heal my bleeding. And then start with green, because again, less menuing. And then save yellow for last. Now we have to go play hide and seek with Mary. So that's what we're going to do. On A, she is in the keyboard, B, she's in the fridge, and C, she's in the glasses. She gets very angry that we found her, so we fight her to the death. Usually the 4th shot knocks her down, but in that case it was a no. Fun fact, she does more damage in her slow form than in her quick form, but again, she's a lot faster in her angry form, which is what we're currently seeing. Come on. Again, I find just swinging wildly to be better than trying to chase her because of how quick she is. Nicely done, she has been defeated. Now, if you ran out of healing items, there is some good news, and that's the fact that there is an Amazon right next to the key. But we didn't run out of healing items, so we're perfectly good. Now, chat, I must apologize because we're about to do something that may give you nightmares. Because if you have played Mario Party 1 or Mario Party 2, and possibly Mario Party 3, I've never played 3, so I don't know if the minigame is in 3, but it's time for a segment I like to call Mario Party Repressed Memories, because we've got to do some jump rope. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, that was bad, but as you can see, we bleed a lot. Funny enough, she says the poison will kill you, but we never get poisoned. We just take very little damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and of course 10. Everything worked out in the end. And now we go fight the boss. Nothing really to it, so again, if you would like to do any promotions, read any donations, feel free to.
Well, I'd like to remind everyone that even if you don't want to or can't donate the traditional way, you could still subscribe to the Midwest Speedfest channel or cheer using bits. All Twitch revenue received during this event will also be donated toward One Iowa. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can use that to subscribe to the channel for free.
So the gimmick of the boss is simply that we take control of it. I consider Mary to be the boss because obviously we deal with her for much longer than the boss. Now you can have the boss go and hit you, but we need it to hit the wall 4 times to kill it. So we're pretty good. Oh yes. Excellent. And then we move right along. We're going to say goodbye to Eriko now and say hello to Kevin for the rest of the game. We're actually going into the easiest level of the game. But I'll buy a little extra supplies just to be on the safe side. Again, this song will get stuck in your head, and it's a very good song. So now we're going to Killer Man, which is to solve a murder mystery. However, we're not going to solve that murder mystery. We're going to let Jorg die and buy him back, because it is faster to do so. Also, this is a giant walking simulator of a level, so that is also a thing. So here we go. Running down the stairs. And then we're going to turn the corner. Now, of course, if you know the number, you can do it, but you can find the numbers by looking at the dead employee's badge, because that is the code. It's 0017. And funny enough, in the good ending, we won't see Jorg. We only see the 4 friends. Jorg just disappears after he's been saved. It's really weird, but funny to me. Now you're going to see a 6th sense go off, and that's because we can pick up the lumberjack's axe. We won't be doing that. Because again, male characters have slower melee attacks than the females do. And there we go, there's Jorg and Cunningham, and we're gonna head in this direction to the facility room. Again, we're kind of backstage of Illbleed, so we're gonna see a bunch of things from all the other levels. Like, we're gonna see, like, Bambalow's portrait, and a bunch of, like, stuff from the last level, among many other things. We're kind of hoping for C, but something tells me we're on B, and we are on B, which is the worst pattern of the level, though no pattern is really too terrible. They're all pretty decent. It's just that B is going to have multiple traps inside the morgue, is kind of the issue. Also, be careful of that 6th sense, because that 6th sense is a Mary fight. Wait, why did that go off? Apparently I'm being set on fire. You gotta love it when a trap triggers, but the other trap isn't tagged, and it's like, what? Alright, cool. We're gonna go in this direction, because there's no chance of a saw blade hitting me, because I tagged it. But there was no trap there to begin with. Stick to the right to avoid the egg fight. Egg fight is really annoying. And then we're gonna go to the left. Tag those UFOs. Very good. B is always the right UFOs. And then you want to tag right in front of that can. Very important. And then go at it from here, because it's another Mary Doll fight in a very, very small arena. So you will die because of how small the arena is. And there we go, we've passed the cans. And anything from the last level will still take money from you. So something to be aware of.
All right.
So tag the popcorn and then go diagonally over here to avoid the eyeball candy trap. And congratulations, you have passed the hardest part of the level. There are actually 2 Amazons in this level. One of them's pretty out of the... They're both kind of out of the way, but one is far more out of the way than the other. There we go, as we continue on. Now let's see if we can get the swag jump. We got the swag jump. Only male characters can do that jump. The female characters cannot jump up onto the staircase like that. So it works out. Now we're running all the way back to York. I wish there was a way to skip this, but there is no way to skip this. Unfortunately. We are stuck doing this. And again, all we're doing is running back to the room where we got the horror monitor, where the first dead corpse was, and then York's gonna go, oh look, you were right, corpse is dead and has a star on its face. I wonder what's going on. Tisk tisk. How dare. Alright, we're gonna continue moving forward to see what's up. Not bad. And then we find another dead corpse, and that's how we get the code for this, which is 0824. Again, the only code that's different between the Japanese and English version is the one in Wood Puppets. All the other ones are pretty much... Excuse me? I wasn't... Oh, right, I was on B. I was thinking I was on A. I was like, wait a minute, something here doesn't make sense. But now it makes sense. And then we're going to take a wide turn here. And we're going to keep going. Excellent. Again, like I said, giant walking simulator of a level. We want to tag the first pillar here, provided we get close enough to tag the first pillar. Again, that trap is a bunch of roaches come out of the pillar. Not a fun time. Then we want to stick to the left. And then we're going to see the next trap, which is a bunch of servers, and we want the first server. If it was C, it would be the second server, and if we were on A, it would be the last server. So here we go. Technically the second server, but we never really see the very first server. There we go. And then there's only 3 traps left in the entire level that we need to be concerned with. Yes, because there's the body bags here, and then there's the 2 tramps in the morgue. So we're gonna be good. Hey SC, I have a question for you. The game is going to ask us who is Killer Man. The options are Cunningham, Jason, the player, Killer Man, and Jorg.
Right.
Who do you think is Killer Man?
I will pick all of the above.
That doesn't work. I can only pick one option.
York, I guess?
Alright, we'll pick Jorg. So here we go. Again, just making our way back to the entrance. And again, the machine is still active, so we're gonna stick to the right side so it doesn't trigger. Ta-da! And button. And then it's like, please select. Technically, the answer is Killer Man, but unless you're saving Jorg, it doesn't matter because the case is not going to get it's not going to get solved, so it doesn't matter. Also, a major difference between the Japanese and English version is that the Japanese version has no music here, whereas the English version does. I'm not close enough to the trap. Now I should be. I'm still not close enough to the trap. Can you please get tagged so I don't get hit by ghosts? I don't want to scare the chat or our fantastic host. So now we're just going through the maze. And there we go. Keep running. There's only one trap left. Those 6 senses that are going up are pick-upable items. We don't have to worry about those because they're all in the maze in the wrong direction. So here we go. As we climb all the way down and Jorg's about to get kidnapped by a zombie. Oh dear. Also, I'm not 100% sure if the Japanese version has fast zombies because I've never seen fast zombies in the Japanese version, whereas I've seen fast zombies in the North American version. So I'm not 100% sure. So here we go, final trap time incoming. Here's how I figure out where it is. You notice how the railing is blue there, and or dark gray, depending how you want to look at it. It's at the edge of the dark gray / blue on the left. And then we have the maze to go through, which is just taking a lot of lefts. So once again, SC, if you want to promote anything and or read any donations, feel free.
Alright, well, we do have a $13 donation from Cassasaur, who said, "Spooky donation for a spooky block. What could be spookier than garbage? Let's unlock that bonus incentive." And that went toward the bonus game incentive for Garbage Pail Kids, Mad Mike, and the Quest for Stale Gum, which currently sits at $43 out of $400. And just a reminder, the UFO ending incentive for Silent Hill Shattered Memories aka the run that is happening right after this one, only has $20 left before that goal is met. The cutoff for that is when the run starts, so if you want to see that, donate toward it now.
Very good. Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, everyone in chat, remember to not go in the woods, otherwise a giant man with a hockey mask and machete may be waiting for you. Stay away from lakes, the woods, and Manhattan if you can. Alright, taking a left now. We're almost done with Killer Man. Also, be careful coming up here. You're gonna want to stick to the left because there is a fight encounter. Very dangerous. There we go. Fall down. I am going to heal my heart rate because one of the other things about Kevin that I didn't mention is his dodges cost more than Erico's. His dodges cost 4 per dodge, rather than 2 from Erico. Fun fact, Yorg only costs 3, but we don't like Yorg, so I refuse to use Yorg. Alright, here we have Killer Man. Very simple fight. What we want him to do is that raising arm attack over and over again as much as possible, or an attack where he's going to throw 5 stars on the ground. Yes, keep doing your star attack. So that attack right there is the one I was referring to, where he throws them all on the ground. Very dodgeable. By the way, the morgue, all that brown stuff down there was corpses. On the left and right were corpses, so that is a thing. There we go, he's dead. Excellent. So the answer to who Killer Man was Killer Man, because Killer Man just had the souls of people who died in the park, trying to take revenge. It was simple as that. So I'm going to buy Yorg back first before going into the shop, because I want to make sure how much money I have to get items, because Yorg is going to cost $375,000. We have 32,000 left. Perfect. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to be on the safe side. I usually go in with 3, but that's if I'm trying to PB. But marathon safety calls for being saved. So this is the final level. Toy Hunter Kork goes to hell. He's going to try to save his... I think it's his wife, is how they refer to it. I think that's how they refer to the relationship. So, here we go. Dodge. Dodge.
Over here! Over here!
Very good. There we go. No damage. That's nice to see. And don't forget to pick up the ticket. And then we use the ticket. And run. And then we're skipping a bunch of cutscenes. So one thing that they've added to this is the story cutscenes. There are 15 in total. I only know where 14 of them are. There are 3 of them in the following room, but we only need to tag 1 because it's directly in our path. They are unskippable cutscenes. So that is a thing. So we want to make sure to tag them so that they are out of our way. And of course, if we were playing as Eriko would have the male jumping and whatnot, and also be able to get up right away from a fight encounter. Kevin does not have that option, as he takes basically on the same properties as he's always had. So tag up there just in case, because like I said, sometimes the game doesn't show anything going off. So it is to not take damage. So we trust nothing. There we go, so it's 1 and 3. Unfortunately, I don't know which pattern is which. I just know what to do after getting the tag. Which is why I never finished my guide, because I was like, I don't know what is what in this level. I just know what to do. And so I was like, I'm not gonna finish this for that reason. And don't you worry, chat, we're gonna get into Evil Monkey Fight. You'll finally get to see what the Evil Monkey Fight looks proper. As we tag all these things to get some adrenaline back. Oops, and we're gonna get set on fire. Like I said, sometimes the horror monitor tells you nothing. But there's the Evil Monkey Fight. Typically, I just let them hit me, just to deal with them. Plus, we brought in extra supplies, so we're fine. Utterly and completely fine. And then we're going to tag the next story cutscene, so we're past at least 4. This cutscene would actually introduce us to the boss's level, or the boss of the level. Boy, I can't say that right, apparently. And then we're jumping. Running forward and tagging. So we are now a 5th of the way through, as far as I know. Or a 3rd. I swear I can talk sometimes. Given how that's going off, I'm going to say it's right there. I was correct. So here's the zombies with guns. Again, they still do, what's the word I'm looking for? Friendly fire. They do a lot of damage, so it's kind of wise to be able to dodge. Tag and tag. Oh, I see which one it is. It's going to be this one, otherwise it would have gone off. There we go. And then we're going to, I'm going to tag right there, because I think it's going to be right there. Excellent, we got the fight skip. But again, tagging just in case we didn't get it, because again, he's going to squirm otherwise. And here we go with number 6. And number 7 is skippable. So that is good as well. Number 7 would be at the bar. So we are good. Number 8 would be just past, would be at the counter there. And then the site is that one. which means the next one is right here. I was kind of worried I wouldn't be able to tag it that direction because sometimes walls that are completely out of the way will like cause an invisible wall to happen and you won't be able to tag, and it's just like, oh, well, garbage cans.
Yep.
The sixth sense that is going on for pickupable items, which we don't need to worry about. And there we go. That is story number 9. Sorry, we're just gonna... Again, somehow an invisible wall happens at that wall, so we just have to maneuver just a wee bit to make sure that we can tag that. There we go. Tag Potodon for number 10. And then number 11 is the gas can.
Yep.
At least I think I'm counting correctly. I hope. They do say that speedrunners can't do math. There we go. Not bad. Alright, while I'm running to the next thing, SC, if there's anything you would like to read out, feel free.
Well, I would just like to thank everybody once again for checking out Midwest Speed Fest Fall Frenzy, raising money for One Iowa, a charity advancing, empowering, and improving the lives of LGBTQ Iowans statewide. You can donate by typing !donate in the chat, or by going to donate.com slash I can't URL right now. Donate.midwestspeedfest.com. I guess math and URLs are things speedrunners struggle with. And
Oh no.
And just a reminder, after this we have the Silent Hill Shattered Memories run, and there is an incentive to do the UFO ending. So if you want to make life a little more difficult for the runner, we're just $20 away from hitting that incentive, and the cutoff is when that run begins.
There we go. And that was also the last trap of the level, as there are more traps, but we won't be dealing with them. So we take Potodon's chip and move right along. Guess I only knew where 13 of them were, and I miscounted last night. I guess. And then we take a wide turn here to avoid an egg fight. And then we get a new Potodon, because the way we get into Toy Hell is that we have to be buried with a child. Yeah, use your imagination with this one on how this one worked out. And now we go on to Zodic, which I hope there's no Sonic the Hedgehog fans in chat, because I'm about to show you the true form of Sonic the Hedgehog. I hope you're prepared. We want this way. So of course he drops his rings, and we gotta shoot the rings. Of course he does the spin attack. When he's doing attacks, we can't damage him. So that's why we keep our distance. But yes, this is what Sega didn't want you to know about Sonic the Hedgehog. That he's secretly a demon and doesn't wear shoes and has very long nails. There we go. And at least my controller's not borking like it was last night during this fight. Hooray! Ow. It should be noted that even on hardware, I use a PS5 controller using a Wingman Brooks converter, which also works with the Sega Saturn. Because unfortunately, the Dreamcast controller is very painful to use. I highly recommend getting the Brooks converter because it works really well. Plus, you can use any modern controller you want. Be it Xbox, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 3 even. Alright, and that was boss number 6. Now we're going to run off to the final boss, because we can't heal during boss fights, so we don't need to worry about picking up any healing items. So onwards and upwards. And of course, we pick up the machine gun and go for it. Of course, we can't start the fight until we go to the middle here. Even if you know what boss you want to fight, you have to go to the center before it lets you fight the boss. Then go over to the picture and it summons the boss, and here we go. This is actually from a previous game they made, which was Blue Stinger, released in 1998 in Japan and released in 1999 in North America. If you were to speedrun Blue Stinger, you would actually have to get the North American version, as it has similar camera angles to Illbleed and is also apparently illegal to speedrun the Japanese version. I'm not exactly sure why, because there is at least one Japanese run, but in the rules it says you cannot speedrun the Japanese version. And as I slowly but surely murder the boss here, SC, if people want to find you and check you out, where can they find you? As you've been a fantastic host.
Oh. Well, first off, thank you. Second, I'm SDXCR on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky, pretty much everywhere.
Also, that is time. And that was the Illbleeds. And as you can see, it has an amazing ending theme, which doesn't contain lyrics. It's quite amazing. Is there anything else you want to promote about yourself?
Not particularly. I'm more so just
Okay.
interested in promoting that UFO ending, because we have very little time to meet that incentive.
That is fair. I have been Abby's Corner. You can check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/abbiescorner. I run a lot of horror games, including the next game that you're about to witness, as well as Illbleed, Resident Evil 4. I also do Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and a lot of other games, including Theater Rhythm. You can follow me on Twitter at Abby_Brander. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Abby's Corner. I also have a podcast called Speedrunners and Coffee, where I interview speedrunners about their speedrun history. I try to make every episode usually come out on Saturdays, so hopefully I can get one out by tomorrow. We will wait and see. I would also like to once again thank the Japanese restream team. Thank you all very much. I super appreciate y'all for doing yet another Illbleed run. Again, super appreciate it. So thank you all very, very much. And thank you to Midwest Speedfest for having me on. Again, raising money for a great charity. And also, if you want to make me and Schmumbler suffer, perhaps maybe meeting that Shattered Memories incentive, as I will be on commentary for the very next run. But thank you all so much, and I will see you at some point in the future, I imagine. Yes, indeed.